Hi, Kingdom people. I am here to do a pop-up beat word message. Yeah. So, Kingdom people, your struggle is over. Your struggle is over. So, Kingdom people, God brought to my attention recently how a few years ago or so, actually it was a little more than that, several years ago, God had showed me and revealed to me that you don't have to struggle, and that you really never had to struggle. But because you're so used to struggling, we live in a world where there's struggle, and they talk about the struggle, and you hear about the struggle, and we just think we have to struggle. God said, He told me, you don't have to struggle. You don't have to. You don't have to. So when I learned that, I stopped struggling. In other words, I just walked. I walked things out. I just did what needed to be done, taking the struggle out of it. Because when you struggle, or when you speak struggle, it's a saying that goes, the struggle is real. And the thing is, struggle has a connotation of it's kind of like a resistance. And when you're in a struggle, there's a resistance that's there. And when there's a resistance that's there, you're actually going against what it is that you're trying to accomplish. So God taught me, you don't have to struggle. And He said you never really had to. But again, because this is the way we've been conditioned, this is the way we've been programmed, so to speak. This is what you know. You just don't know. And so when God showed this to me, I stopped struggling. Now, here's the thing. Although I stopped struggling, I took that struggle out, there were still challenges. The difference was I didn't struggle through those challenges. I walked through them. I persevered through them. Yes, I was always doing that. I was always resilient over things and overcame things. But the thing is, the struggle was no longer there. The struggle was no longer there. Meaning you just face your issues. You just, have a different mindset about your, I almost said struggles. Okay, about your struggles. Change your perception about your struggles. Look at them more so as challenges, and challenges that you need to progress, to move to the next level, to evolve, to grow, to rise into who God created you to be. So what happened, Kingdom people, was this. I later found out, which is actually more recent than past, that people were wanting to put a struggle on me. Kingdom people, there are people that want to put a struggle on you, and they actually do. They try to put a struggle on you because they want you to struggle. They want you to be in lack. They want you to always having to be trying to figure it out and feeling like you can't make it. You can't do it. And so again, I've learned that people were putting a struggle on me. And not just that, I come to find out that for years, certain people that you know for years, many times as your family members, usually they're older than you, but for years they were not so much putting the struggle on me, but kind of, because they wanted me to struggle. They always wanted me to be in lack. I just had to learn this years later. And this was more recent that I've learned this. And then along with that, just knowing the things that were being done behind the scenes, the hatred and the, I'm hearing evil eye and the jealousy, and not so much speaking word curses over me, but thinking them. And so the thing is, Kingdom people, that contributed to the struggle. And yes, putting obstacles in my way. Doing things seeming like they were doing things to be helpful, but behind that really was putting a struggle on me on purpose, so that I would always struggle. But again, Kingdom people, God had already taught me not to struggle, that I didn't have to struggle. So by the times that these things were revealed to me, the struggle was over. Even though I still had challenges to overcome, and I was still overcoming those things that were kind of placed in my pathway by those individuals previously. So the point is this, kingdom people, God is saying, regardless of all that, because a lot has happened, a lot has transpired, the point is this: you don't have to struggle. God is saying, first of all, you don't have to struggle. And yes, people will try to put a struggle on you. People want to see you continuously spinning your wheels. And, well, not so much spinning your wheels. They want to see you spinning your wheels. Not that you are, but that's what they want you to do. These ones, them ones, as you know, don't want you to progress. And so they will attempt to put a struggle on you in different ways. That takes place in different ways. Kingdom people, even when you're not in the struggle anymore, again, you do have challenges. But the key is you don't have to struggle. Now, kingdom people, God is saying all that, the struggle, what they tried to put on you, even those challenges that you had that were very challenging, where at one point in time it would have been a struggle for you. God is saying your struggle is over. You've been experiencing a lot, kingdom people. You've had to overcome so much. I'm hearing, in spiritual warfare, some of you for years. And kingdom people, God is saying that the struggle, not so much your struggle, but the struggle is over. In other words, all of what you have been experiencing is calming. God is bringing you to calmer waters because you've done what you needed to do. You've pushed through those so-called struggles, and you're making it to the other side. You're being resilient. You have been resilient over and over and over again. And because of that, kingdom people, God is saying the struggle is over. You have ended cycles. You have put an end to some cycles. You are going into a new phase in your life. You are entering into your new beginnings. The struggle is over. I'll go so far and say your wilderness has come to an end, kingdom people. You are walking into your promised land. That land flowing with milk and honey, with them big old grapes. Kingdom people, God is saying your struggle is over. You can rest. You can enter into his rest. He's taking you to a place where you'll be able to relax and rest more. Kingdom people, God is literally delivering you from the struggle that was on you. And yes, the struggle that was being put on you. God is delivering you from that. I'm hearing he's delivering you from the wicked. He delivering you from those evil ones, them ones that, again, were trying to put the struggle on you by trying to stop and block and all those things that they were trying to do, trying to destroy your destiny, trying to destroy your calling. And I'm literally hearing, destroy your gifts. Some try to destroy your mind, kingdom people. And I'm hearing literally try to destroy your life for some of these people. But God is saying that your struggle is over. The struggle is over. You can enter into his rest. Kingdom people, 2 Corinthians 13:4 says, although he was crucified in weakness, he now lives by the power of God. We too are weak, just as Christ was. But when we deal with you, we will be alive with him and have God's power. Kingdom people, listen. Jesus even encountered a struggle that was put on him. Jesus wasn't struggling. Yes, he had weaknesses when he had to go to the cross, and he had some others prior to that. But he was still Jesus. That didn't take away from who he was. And he was eventually delivered from that struggle that was put on him. He was delivered from that, kingdom people. And it says we too are weak. In other words, we too have to deal with the struggle that was put on us, God. That was put on us, kingdom people. I just called y'all God. That's because it says next here, just as Christ was, but when we deal with you, we will be alive with him. So when we deal with Jesus, when we deal with God, we will be alive with him. So when you deal with God, that's God in you. You are alive in God. He is alive in you. That's why I called y'all God, kingdom people. Now we know you're not God, but You are a part of the I am that I am. Great is he that is in you than he that's in the world. He's in you. So you are that great I am. You ain't the great I am, but that great I am is in you. Get what I'm saying, kingdom people? Anyhow, it says, let me say this again. But when we deal with you, we will be alive with him and have God's power. So kingdom people, because you deal with God and he has brought you to a place where the struggle is over, you now have God's power. You're being headed, by the way, but you're entering into the rest of God's power, because kingdom people, the struggle is over for you. You done what you needed to do. Now, that don't mean you won't still have challenges. You won't still have to face things, but the difference is, kingdom people, you face it differently because you've overcome. You know how to walk this walk. You know how to do this thing. Listen, this is the thing. God was showing me how all this time you were learning and training, and because even all those things that came against you that you had to deal with. I know I have this thing where I be like, whatever, when God be showing me, or I be made aware what whoever doing, trying to stop, block, black magic, whatever. I be like, whatever, because I know it's not going to prosper. And so God is saying, new level, new devil. You're going to have to face some giants. Them little ones you was dealing with really was imps. Because where you're going, these are giants here. And God said to me, your attitude going to still be the same. He said you're going to still be like, whatever. Why, kingdom people? Because you done already been there and done that. You know how this go. And here's the key. When you are aware, see, it's like they say, not like they say, but you expose the darkness by shining a light on it. And the way you're shining a light on it is by being aware of it. When you can see what's happening, when you're aware, that kills the power of what's being attempted at you. That's why people have to keep you in the dark of what they are doing for it to have some kind of power over you. Even if it has a little bit. But when it's all said and done, what happens? God reveals things to us. He shows us. Now we know. And so now the struggle is over. All that gets shut down. So it would be the same thing going into where you're going, kingdom people, because you already know how this go. You know them when you see them. You done already slayed demons. So you just going to be like, whatever. Kingdom people, the struggle is over. The struggle is over, kingdom people. God is saying because you deal with him, you are alive with him. And you have his power. You have God's power in you, kingdom people. Kingdom people, the struggle is over. Kingdom people, that is what I have for you right now. Please make sure that you like, share this video, and subscribe to my channel if you have not already done so. I love you all so very much. You know I don't want to leave you, but I do have to go right now. But I will be back to hold my kingdom people down. Kingdom people, that is my time. Jesus girl is out. Peace.